huh? Shkablow. Ah, that's better. Alright. You good, bud?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will have to delete that. Delete the video of us just fucking around for 7 minutes while we get ready to start.
Yeah.
So that was a deleted scene.
There we are. Go ahead and delete that. Deleted. And of course the music would stop. There we are. Get that crack-a-lackin'. And because I am a fool, I dropped this, and I would very much like to see it. There we go. Now. Are we good?
Yes.
There we go.
You said it, Mourning. God damn, I fucking hate this. Well, now that music started, we don't want to play our music, even though it was muted. I'm gonna fucking kill Twitch and then myself. Please stop with the fucking ad. Thank you. Why? Go ahead, Thomas.
I think you just need to give this die a little bit more oomph to it. I just want to make sure I roll it. I mean, not all the time because of statistics, but I've been getting pretty good numbers out of it.
Yeah, I know.
Because it likes to roll 19s.
Yeah. Give me my die back.
It's like, I'm aware of its power.
It rolled a 16, I think, when it came out of the bag. The other two rolled a 3.
Granted, they're taunting me now.
Yeah. When it comes down to it, we're fucked.
Always. So, where we left off, it was a rather short in essence of what actually happened, because the entire second half was just one long combat. After your rally with the barbarians and your rest and recoup, the military movement of getting everyone out of the woods and into Therowen, or Therowill, took a while. Eventually got going, but then you realized after a short bit that you were attacked by polymorphed Mardicats. After a very large struggle with massive casualties, there was plenty of disintegration going on. It was put forward to you all that anyone that wasn't resurrected at the site and pulled away when you guys took the brief seconds you did to recoup before reinforcements came was assumed loss, as Mardiketh stuck around to do as much damage as he did, while that pocket full of druid resistance stayed behind. And then they clearly perished. It's a little bit more actiony than I was remembering it.
One died due to feeble mind.
Yeah.
Well, actually, to be fair, he died due to you stepping on their fucking throat.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I can't believe they got feeble mind off.
He rolled a 3.
That druid must become part of our clique.
Our new druid?
Do you want to be our new druid?
You know good, Barry.
I do.
Of course, so I have it all the time. Why would I not?
What about find the path?
On Mars playing with something.
Can we play D&D eventually? What? What was it?
It was a piece of hard candy.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I don't have any hard candy.
Are you sure it was hard candy or was it one of those bees?
It was hard candy. It wasn't a wrapper.
That must have been me. I'm terribly sorry about that. I have some cough drops with me. That'll be the only one, though.
You've ruined it. The only one.
Do you want me to give it back to you?
No, I have. It's just like I counted the ones in my pocket. I know I have many I brought with me. So there shouldn't be any more.
Come on, where was the sad one that we had?
So we agree we're gonna go immediately see Cinnamon, right?
No.
Actually, what spells do I have left?
There we are. You are currently on the walls. The woods you escaped from are smoldering in the distance. There are patches that seem to be untouched, but you can tell from here that most of that damage is done pretty heavily. One of the druids that ported through the trees to get close to you guys to let you know what happened, holding his side. Garen was in there. And Lorraine kind of puts her head down. That was the gentleman who overheard you talk about true resurrection.
No.
Yes.
He's gone.
Yes. He stayed behind to stop as much damage to the woods as he could.
You can't just make an NPC so lovable and then kill him off like that.
No, that wasn't the feeble mind guy.
No, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but you know,
where is Feeble Mind Fred?
his name's not Fred. He's close, because you know you all entered the city at the same time.
Well, it's a shame what happened, but at least we got through it.
You'll be missed. Oswald. Mardeketh was destroying the bodies so that we couldn't get back and bring our allies back, even if we waited for them to leave. Who was lost and left behind is lost forever. I think he's finally forging that new world he's always wanted. But everyone in it needs to be able to bow to him. He's slowly taking out the people who haven't.
And that's why we have to stop him before this madness continues.
Graf reconvenes with you at this time. We killed many, but we lost many more. How'd you all fare?
We're doing alright, Graf. Not used to, so much loss, I guess.
It's funny, you can win the day and still feel like you lost. It's the mark of a true soldier.
Yeah.
Don't let that go, Korvac. Kind of just stares out in the kind of glowing sea that is these red-hot embers of trees amongst, like, the green patches are like islands amongst a sea of black and red of embers and just kind of wildlife burning. You've got that large plain between you. And then you see some large birds fly away.
How many?
Make a perception check.
Damn it.
18.
Is that other one a d20? Okay.
It was 16.
Okay, I was like, I thought you might have rolled the d12 there, because we've all made that mistake once. So you got a what, bud?
18.
11.
There were 3. You know, a few, not a lot.
Where do you think
It
they're
is
going?
dark.
Where do you think they're going?
Lorraine speaks. Wherever they're needed, probably. They will not be as efficient as a new one. But I imagine another pocket of resistance can still be squelched with their reinforcement.
I look out to the druid that had casted Feeble Mind on that Mordecai. I do just want to say to you, you did fucking awesome out there.
Thank you.
You
You were a good example to follow.
remind me of a druid that I once knew. He also liked using Feeble Mind, but he was never as successful as you were.
I got lucky, my lord.
There is no such thing as luck. That happened because you were destined to make that move. What you did right then and there saved the lives of everyone in that fight.
What you did, stopping the fire from burning us, that saved us. I wish I could have saved the trees myself.
I'm not even a druid, and I feel like I wish I could have saved the trees. To see the despoilment on something so sacred to your people is very upsetting.
He kind of looks and kind of squints to the sea. Many forests have a natural cycle where they burn down and regrow. It's part of their worldly cycle. These trees were not there, but the ashes in the ground, the carbon, the nitrogen, with a little bit of our magic. In time, when this is over, I'm sure the glade and the wood will be bigger than they were.
In time.
It's all we have.
What else do you know? What is your name, by the way?
Stin.
Stin?
Yes.
Now you've done it, Thomas. You've named it, got another NPC.
At least this one actually has a name, Josh.
You're right.
What's this NPC? Come on, you've told me his name before. Come on, the curator told us his real name, remember?
Yeah.
No!
Would you like to learn more, Stin?
I'm always learning. What do you mean?
Do you... Maybe not now. Would you care to join us?
My place is here. I appreciate the offer. But I owe Garen as much to see that his sacrifice wasn't in vain. I want to go a tree where he fell. Maybe after then. But for now, my place is here with these people.
The offer will always remain open. Our homestead exists within the borders of Therawill.
Graf kind of pats you on the back. And even though I just got here, you're always welcome here as well. Like a few of the guards are on, like, can he do that? Can he make that decision? But they're like, also, this is Graf.
Yeah.
A tyrant bugbear who can probably rip them all in half.
We're also lords of Therawill.
Yeah.
I love that.
He doesn't know.
Thank you, Graf. And you fought well out there as well. You and everyone here.
We all did. I only wish I could have fought better. I wish I got the wings out sooner. I might have caught up with them had I known they were above us.
Can I roll a history check to see if there was ever a mention that he could do that before?
Go ahead, roll history.
Because you made it
I'll
seem
join
like we
you.
would be very surprised at that matter, and I feel like everything that they do, especially flashy stuff like that.
Should be documented.
Yeah,
24.
unnatural 20.
Nice.
Looks like Saitama. Kills things so efficiently no one knows how bad the threats really were.
Mm.
All you really hear of the Paragons is of their excellence because of how efficiently they take down people. Graf, being a totem barbarian, you hear people speak about how he's able to pull the fury and endurance of the bear and the swiftness of the eagle and the cunning of the wolf. You hear people talk about these things. Because in battle, sometimes people are like, oh, I swear I saw him move like a bear. I swear I saw him move like a bear. It was hot and fast and quick. And, you know, most of the threats prior to this were either long gone or things they could handle like that because they were nothing to them. And thus, maybe the full extent of the abilities weren't done. So it kind of makes sense in the sense that, like, oh, maybe somebody probably saw a glimpse of it. And that kind of led to their legend. Like Isolith. The logic behind that, him never being even hit. Is he just really lucky? Or is there some greater cause to this grandiose? It's clearly not just because of his legend, but what's feeding it. They all seem to have an item or two that kind of helps them. You're getting the sense, as he explains even, part of my totem. He kind of has gestures to something around his neck. It helps me be more in tune with the animals and the spirits of nature. Closer than anything spiritually I could ever get. And thus, sometimes I get aid. The eagle will lend me its wings. The wolf will lend me its speed. The bear his endurance and strength. Sometimes in great moments of need. But other than that, it's helped me quite a lot. We all have something that helps us, all the Paragons. Just like you. You, Korvac, are a great warrior. And you might think to yourself, what are you without your spear? But you, without your spear, are still a deadly warrior. It's still part of your legend, who you are. And you with your fancy harp.
Thank you. Were you close with Nesmith?
We were all close a long time ago.
I know you have things to do here, Graf, but when we return to Nesmith in a little bit, would you come with us?
What for?
I want someone he knows and trusts to be present with him.
He takes like a bone needle and starts picking his teeth. You think it'll help?
I don't think it will hurt. He mentioned you last time I talked to him, and he still cares about you a lot.
You seem like a smart boy. If you think it'll help, I will go.
Thank you. And I turn to Stin. By the way, new friend, I get out the bag of the dice the traveler gave me. You mentioned about luck earlier. I take out... How many do I have left?
So many.
I have one more D20 left. I take out the D20. In your time of need, Sten, for the luck that you just gave us, I give you this. Use this.
Go ahead.
Use this when you feel like your luck's run out, then it will help you.
Okay. I mean, it's not going to happen now.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna stop in the middle of when it is gonna be needed.
Oh, I know. I was just making sure. Like, he took it, right?
Yeah, he took it.
Okay.
It did a thing. That's a secret thing.
I roll insight immediately. Actually, you know what? Do it.
I mean,
What do you think he's gonna? What are you gonna learn? Well,
Oh, that's a 4, so I'll never know.
what did you think you were gonna learn?
I just wanted to see
He
how
seems
he
more in
reacted.
awe of kind of like, I don't know what this is, but I think I have an idea of what I'll use it for. Later. Not now. And he puts it in a bag.
And on that note, what's our next move, gentlemen? After not too much longer, we need to travel to Grove Stand before we have to meet somebody outside of Nesmith's house.
Graf looks at you, he's like, I will go with you to Nesmith whenever you are ready. Lorraine is like, as of right now, I'm just tending to the wounded here. I think, take some getting used to everyone reacquainting. This is new for everyone. For the elves, for the druids, for the rangers, for the barbarians. There are many people here who came specifically to help, who didn't have a home either in the plains or Fairwill at all. So,
The king will be returning very soon. In that time, I recommend we just rest and prepare for what comes next.
see, these aren't your traveling companions. You two are your own fucking thing. These guys are their own fucking thing. They quit looking for them to tell you what to do.
I was gonna say, I was meaning that in a sense that I was trying to use a little bit of authority of Therowen, just saying, hey, the king will come back to address you, but in the time, just take this time to rest.
I get you. I felt like you were doing a lot of like leaning towards them. As to like, so what do we do now? It's up to you to decide.
In the meantime, while you all are resting, I think we must make moves towards Grove Stand. We'll leave the ship here, so they can also rest, and we'll just teleport. Does that sound good, Korvac?
Doesn't it?
sounds good to me. Bask will be ready by then.
Well, I have enough magic to make a magnificent mansion. If he's not ready, we can at least rest with him. Without further ado, let's get moving. And then I use teleport to teleport me, Korvac, and Graf to just outside Nesmith's house.
It's that time already.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, you have a 7th left?
I have a 7th and an 8th.
How?
I was very good in that. I promise you, this is my updated
I know,
list.
you did the wish.
I used a lot of lower level spells like Destructive Wave. I used Circle of Power. I used a Disintegrate.
I remember the disintegrate, that's
I
6.
used Fireball a couple of times.
He's right.
Yeah, I was just like, you didn't burn your 7th or 8th.
I was really conservative in that fight.
There was a point where I think you wanted to use disintegrate, and I kind of explained, like...
He had 10 HP.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, you're doing the thing where it's just like, disintegrates all or nothing. Like, make sure you guarantee the little bit that you get.
Right.
Where exactly are you trying to teleport to?
Or Basco said his tree was just outside of Nesmith's.
Okay, I wanted to know, yeah. Are you going to Nesmith first, or are you going to the Basco first?
Going to Basco first. It's pointless going to Nesmith without.
Yeah. Well, he probably deserves a heads up. Hey! Wife! See ya!
I was actually gonna.
Told you we could do it!
I was actually gonna ask Graf if he wanted to go and hang out with Nesmith for a little bit.
Give me 1 second. There's something I have to check. So, you're whisked away to a tree. And at this tree, inside the estate, lots of... What's up?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
No, what was up?
No, I was like, don't worry about it.
No, I want to know.
No, it straight up wasn't a thing. I was like, I'm making a weird face, and Alex saw it. Shit.
No, I was just like, I thought you were just like, well, hold on. And I was just like, wait, is there something I missed? Is there something you wanted to do?
No, I was rubbing something on my teeth and like thinking to myself that
got
I
it.
was like, shit, he noticed.
Nice save.
No, there's a lot of passerbys outside the estate. You know, the gate was destroyed. Nobody's crossing that because everybody did see the massive amount of explosions that Marduketh evaded / took. But no, there's a rather regal, you know, slightly naturey. It's got the firs. Like, even though it's already been planted in the ground for a little bit of time, vines have already started entwining in it and kind of making itself more with nature. Some moss growing in to improve insulation, stuff like that. But you get the sense, yeah, this is the King of the Druids' tent. And you walk into it, and then immediately Graf is just like, oh my word. As in front of you is a rather gorgeous halfling woman. Looks roughly the age Nesmith would be before he stopped aging. Wholesome figure, beautiful, exactly what you'd expect from, you know, a paragon's wife. Dressed moderately, you know, they were buried in this, but you can tell a little bit of magic is done prior to that to prune them up and make them, you know, not come through in their own grave dirt.
Yeah.
How is this possible? Basco turns around. Well, I have an ability, spell, much like Mac has his wish. I can bring back those who, well, were believed to be unable to bring back. And thus, here, I haven't the time. I was just finished my long rest to get the children.
I know we've seen a lot of resurrections in our time, but that magic never goes away of just seeing the impossible become possible again.
May I introduce Penelope?
It's nice to meet you.
Hello. Where's my husband?
Very good point. He's in your house.
What happened to our house?
A lot of things.
There's a lot of this occurred since, you disappeared. At the moment, Marduketh is attempting to subjugate his rule over Pangier, and...
Marduketh? That sweet wizard man?
Yeah. No, he's not sweet anymore. He's actually a bit loco.
Can we defer? This was roughly like 160, 180 years ago, maybe?
190
190
years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a 190-year-old. She's not 190. She's rather old because she's already a halfling.
Right.
But she's been dead for 190 years.
Right.
To let you know what we're doing, we don't want to shock Nesmith too much, because I'll be honest, when you and your children passed away, it affected him deeply.
He didn't move on?
No.
No.
It's been how long?
190 years.
He must have been miserable.
It seems so.
Stupid fool.
So, to kind of give it in one big package, we're hoping to bring the children in as well.
That makes sense. Graf, would you tell me of the world? What I've missed? Of course, dear, of course. And he kind of sits with her. I think you boys should go let him know what's about to happen while I talk to Penelope.
Okay.
Shall we go?
Yeah,
Basco
go.
looks to you. In an hour, both of them will be ready. all three of them will be ready.
I assume we're going to be spending this time to rest, but I just wanted to let you know I had to burn my last wish in combat, moving the group over to Therawell.
You owe me, but you don't owe me right now.
Understood. Shall we go?
Yep. Let's tell him that what he thought was impossible happened, but we got an hour to wade through still. Let's go.
Okay.
You make your way walking. Give me perception checks to both of you.
Motherfucking Mardicat better not be around.
No, dude. How you know the fucking left
Yeah.
wards and traps everywhere.
That's a 15.
That is... Oh, fuck, I went 15 and 15, 17.
26.
You were about to step on a thing. He stops you. Just a nice glyph of warding. One of the few left outside, just off the beaten path. Most of it, once you get onto that path Marduketh was on, you know it's like, no, he triggered them all. Like,
Yeah.
We know we have this safe path, kind of like EOD coming through.
Right.
You climb your way up. But it's different this time. Because as much as you're going through this main foyer, you're used to having to look. You know what's in the middle of the T-break for the stairs. But this time it's already there. And the door's cracked open. And he's kind of leaning on the door jamb as it's cracked open. He's just looking towards the tent. Smoking a rather thick joint, but not comically large. But, you know, it almost looks like a joint you should be smoking. But he's a halfling.
You're right. Okay.
And it's just... So who the fuck's that?
That's
Bosco.
the king of Therawell.
Doing the impossible?
Yep. Give it an hour, you'll see the results.
Graf's also there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where is he?
He's in the tent.
Currently updating your wife.
My wife? My wife.
An hour, you'll see. Just please be patient.
He's like, okay, if you've seen my wife, buddy. What's her name?
Penelope.
What does she look like?
Gorgeous. Quite.
You explain, you
Yeah.
know, brown hair, brown eyes, you know, soft chin, rosy red cheeks, you know, freckles, that whole thing. You saw a painting.
Maybe. I mean, like I said, an hour.
I don't know about this. He kind of walks in, and the door has remained open for you all.
You're afraid that we're trying to trick you?
I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think at all.
I mean,
This is too much. Can't I just sit on the couch and slowly kill myself? He sits down and drinks a comically large glass of wine.
that's no way to live.
No, you're right. You're right. I can't let her see me like this.
Oh, actually, you bring up a good point.
What?
I mean, like, you want to get ready for your
Oh,
wife.
he looks at himself. He's like, "Oh God, you're right."
No! No! No!
I object.
No! Hold on! And I immediately go to Basco.
What?
I go to Korvac.
Should we just use wish to make him look like what he used to look like?
We can't. Matt.
While you are kind of talking about it, you just hear a and you turn, and Nesmith is dead. He just shot himself in the head.
I run over to him and immediately use Revivify.
There is no effect. Burn both the spell and the 100 diamond
Well, then
dust.
He
100 DP of diamond dust.
Then he didn't die?
Roll perception? No, you cast Revivify. He's percepting.
24.
You see out of the corner of the room a large clay pot. Maybe not large to your standard, but a clay pot roughly
Oh my
halfway
God.
size. Oh God! just fluid spits out. I forgot how old this shit is. And it breaks out. And a rather handsome, just pristine Nesmith. Yeah, I made these clones back in my prime.
Nesbit, warning. Warning.
I put the pistol and pointed to it to let you know.
He did, but fuck.
What?
Nothing.
I couldn't let her see me like that. By the way, and like his simulacrums come and do something to dispose of the body, and then the Magnificent Mansion kind of gets a brief touch-up. Like we're talking like sweep the drugs off, like throw this away. It's not going to get completely clean. As he starts making his way towards the exit of the Magnificent Mansion.
No.
How much time has transpired?
About 3 minutes.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, hold on. Your wife's there. Your children are not. That will happen in 57 minutes. Are you okay?
So much more to do.
Oh.
Okay.
He walks outside the Magnificent Mansion once again. And then immediately, almost as if on standby, thousands of unseen servants kind of instantly move and just shake the dust around them. If they've been sitting idly for just ever. And immediately start cleaning. You immediately see glyphs diffuse. You hear spells undo themselves. Locks unblock. Candles light. And then as out of almost nowhere, boards, timbers, shingles, roofing is being put back together in front of you. And the house is almost repairing themselves. It's not just me, it's the house. Couldn't let them come to this.
Make a good point. I take it that you trust us, then. That we're not trying to fool you.
If my wife's not in there, you're gonna die.
Alright, well, I mean...
And I joined Mardicat.
We have nothing to fear, then.
And there's a lot more of these clay pots hidden.
Got that.
Smash him, Cormac!
Yeah! This one had a rupee. So, will my unseen servants and simulacrums work? How will you occupy me for 55 minutes?
Tell you about what just happened in the forests of Zarwin.
Okay. You take your time. You explain, unless you wanted to RP it. I figure for the sake to we're not going to do 55 RIL minutes of you explaining the combat.
Right.
Alright guys, we're going to brew tea in real time. Everybody stop, we're going to wait for the water to heat up.
It's an American kettle.
Alright, now we're going to wait for that to steep. You can tell that this clone... It isn't a clone anymore, but roll insight for the both of you. It could be insight, nature, medicine, or perception. Each one has a different DC, obviously, but... Is that an Act 20? No, it's a 12. Okay, my apologies.
Yeah.
I got 26 in nature.
What'd you get, bud? Quarterback?
Yeah. 11 in insight.
That's the best you could... What did you roll, a 2?
4. Only +7.
I thought you had a good nature. Or am I
My
just...
nature
He's
is
good natured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta understand the difference. Oh, it's a +0 for nature.
What'd you get?
26.
You got a 11?
11.
He's different. There's something about this, now that he's in this body, that's different. And we're not just talking hair loss, weight, bad skin. There's something different. With you said nature or medicine?
It's nature.
This body doesn't have the shit in it that he's been putting in it for years. This doesn't have the drugs. This doesn't have the booze. This doesn't have just awful treats and fucking pleasure food. This is back when he gave a shit. And thus, he doesn't naturally have that kind of bogged down bad starting line, baseline for how good things are. You know, no fucking shit, whatever. You know, he is a little bit better off because he's not haggard by chemicals. So he's got that going for him. We spend about half an hour, 40 minutes, discussing the fight. So he's gone, huh? Just out of there. Back to the crazy wizard that everybody talks about in stories. Marduketh's truly a villain now, huh?
I didn't want to believe it.
Simulacrums can't change. They don't learn. They don't become new. They don't get new visions. If they make a mistake, oh well. They're not going to grow from it.
No.
So if they're willing to kill, if they're willing to make sure bodies don't revive, that's true evil.
Yeah.
And they didn't learn that from them. That came from the man himself.
Right.
You know, Nesmet, if I didn't look in on myself while talking to him, the last time I talked to him, I almost would have believed him as well and thought he was right. That's the worst part about him.
I think he's gotten too many things right for his own good lately.
I think he still thinks he is doing good in his own warped, fucked up way.
Well, once everybody's under one banner, and once he grows them and develops them the way he thinks everyone should be, what's there to stop him from being one nation under Marduketh? And then he can go outside those walls and do whatever he wants.
The bitterness in his heart is what's eating him the most. His failure, I feel like his failures affect him more than what his wins do.
Ever since he lost his family, he's trapped himself in a vacuum.
Oh my god.
What?
No, another. Yeah, I know. It's always the family thing. We now need to know time travel. There's no fixing this, man, probably. It's too late. He's got way too much going against him.
Yeah, remember, they died of old age.
Yeah, they did. That's right. They died of old age. Not only that, but like he's got way too many crimes against him.
Like his family grew old without him, so.
Yeah.
Because he's just simply. Oh, what? It's been that long? Really? Whoops.
Ooh, yep.
Sorry about your mother, kiddo.
That's right. That's right.
I think what butters his biscuit more than anything else, I hold something that he can't.
What?
And I can easily give it to him, but I haven't.
What's that?
The one thing he has chased other than that for the last however many hundreds of years. The power of a god.
As much as I know you have your own cards to play, if you think he's shown you his hand, he's got you right where he wants you.
Oh no.
I know
what you mean.
He's been working on something inside there. Quaking the fabrics of reality itself, he would say.
Do you have any idea what it is?
I don't know what the fuck that means, kid. Fabrics of reality? Space? Time? I don't know what he's talking about. But I don't want him fucking with that shit.
I agree. He asked me, well, normally when I cast this spell, I do it in the sanctity of my magnificent mansion. Or it was cast in an area where Marduketh's, can't see it. But I once cast Wish out in the middle of...
And since you've done several times.
Yeah. I've been casting it out in the open recently, but he met with us when I cast it for the first time outside, and he asked me to give it to him. And I almost did, but then I made the decision not to.
I'm sure he took that very well and reasonably.
No, he did not.
I figured.
And to be honest with you, I kind of want to prevent him from getting it.
That's wise, especially given what he's trying to do.
you can learn it as well.
In time, probably.
Yeah.
What?
Bards can't just learn new spells like that instantaneously. They have to level.
No,
through.
they cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wizards can.
Yeah, wish is also not a spell that bards learn naturally. They have to use their magnificent magical secrets.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's already level 20, so he's gonna have to.
So think about your actions. Don't show him this because it ain't gonna benefit us until part of the market's already dead.
He's got a few. What are they called? Boons. He's got a few boons. He might get another one. And anytime you get one, you can. There's ones where you pick level 9 spell slots and whatnot. You might get it eventually, but not now.
Right.
You'll see it in a little bit. Because I owe the King of Therowen a lot for doing this.
And if that's what you say is true, I think I will as well.
No. Don't be mistaken. We've taken on this debt.
I understand, but you must also understand how, just as a man, I would still feel indebted to him. He brought my family back.
That's a fair point.
If, he kind of gestures to you, what you say is true.
Has it been an hour yet?
It's been about 53 minutes.
No. The spell that Basco is using is an evolved form of resurrection. Very ancient druid magic.
How ancient? I've never heard of it.
Do we even know?
I only know, he never explained all of it to us, but I know it was it came from the power of the Evertree and his...
It was something the world kind of gave to him as the nature essence kind of gave to him. It's like, we've been working on a little something.
Right.
And I think it's finally time for it to happen.
Gotcha.
That mixed with the power of his father.
I guess technically it isn't ancient druid magic, and is it?
It is in the sense of it's taken up until now to get it right. If you view nature, that the world tree is a giant computer, crunching the power of nature magic, feeding what the druids know into it. After years of computation and meditation and power and harnessing and learning new things, it all culminated into that. So in that essence, yes, it is ancient as all time. But in the other sense, it was made the other day. So it all depends on your perspective, my dude.
If you had to say, because this didn't happen until after...
Are you talking about to me or Nesmith?
You.
Okay.
If you had to say what was the final straw or trigger for the finished product of Resurrection, it didn't happen until after Basco entered the trade. It didn't happen until well after that. A few days at least. What about Basco's life would you say was kind of the last thing that needed to be learned?
He needed to experience the loss.
So the tree was connected to him even from that distance?
Yes. Through the sword. That's a conduit. He needed to... he wanted his brother back, but he had gotten over that.
Right.
He had gone his entire life thinking, well, I gotta move past this. But that was fresh. That was a fresh cut. He'd never wanted something more than that. And with everything else he had learned, all the other power and baseline, just better druid he was, because, you're the better fighter than everybody else, a better bard than everybody else. Because of that, he's able to just... That, the tree, the connection, his father, all of that culminated in the creation of true resurrection.
That you could also say that those deaths were definitely not meant to happen.
Precisely.
Because it came from an external
Precisely.
sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
All sorts of dominoes triggering everything in this universe.
Gotcha.
Shit's cray cray. So, it's been about 55 minutes, 53 minutes, I suppose.
Graf has also missed you a lot.
He's a big old softy, ain't he?
Yeah.
So what's after this, boys? One of two things is going to happen when I walk into that tent. I'm going to either have to fulfill my promise to you by killing you and joining Mordecai, or by siding with you against him. So I ask you this. I meet my family, I have a night with them. Maybe some more. But what happens next?
I mean, you did have the right idea of trying to keep Rosehead out of it. They're not a fighting people. We understand that.
If you don't think Mordecai isn't seeing what's happening right now.
And that's kind of like when I saw you take care of that house, and also, yeah, he's probably seen all that at this point.
Are you able to help unify Orbis Graval?
They'll do whatever I tell them. That's why they're docile right now.
Our next move, we're going to return to Rasalama and make sure that they are underneath our banner. Make sure that the threads that we set in place days ago come to fruition. That would unify Orbis Graval, Therawil, and Rasalama under one flag. Our next move after that is Bismuth.
What about Privence, the Western Isles, Marymount? Those people need
I was going to say, Privence makes sense
the
too.
old home. Privence, I think, is the one that has the best chance. They have a standing army that no one knows about. Yeah. And on top of that, I'm not talking about the mercenaries, kids. They got way more than that. They got a lot of secrets nobody knows about. And they're the furthest from the Spire.
And they're between two territories that have already sided against Mordecai.
Precisely.
So Privence does make a lot of sense.
My concern are the islands.
I don't know.
Nobody's heard from them in a while. On top of that, I know it feels like one of those things where we gotta unify. But when you cut the head off, at what point are you satisfied enough? God, it is tough to keep up with that, huh? At what point is it satisfied enough to just boink them, bonk them, take them out?
I've been thinking that myself.
Are you gonna bring everybody? Are you gonna bring the the armies of everybody? No. It's just gonna be a small team killing the guy, right?
Ragtag group of cool guys.
Yeah. You got me, Graf, and your boy Crench.
I think the way I see it, if we can get Rasalama to definitely side with us too, I think that's probably it. If there's somebody in Privence who's willing to come, I still like to see Privence first. Because you're right, they probably do have a lot of secrets.
But also, so does the Western Isles and Marymount.
Right.
Are you fighting this fight to get allies or free the people?
Free the people.
But he does make a point, though.
Rasalama's neutral right now. Doesn't really seem like you're about freeing the people, but gaining allies.
Well, it wasn't about freeing the people until you brought up the idea of just taking the head. I mean, it would be swift. And it's such a tantalizing goal.
If I have read between the lines, you seem confident enough that you can get in there.
Yes.
And I know Marduketh. He's a proud sack of shit. He's got a lot of lines of defenses and he's got a giant offense. He probably thinks he's safest inside his tower. He probably thinks he's untouchable. Once you take that away from him, you put him on tilt. And on top of that, I'm sure he's got defenses in there, but I'm sure they're nothing compared to...
So then you understand that this almost feels like a one-time get.
Yes.
So if we're to do this, I think Islith would be a great help if we can get him to join us as well.
My concern are the Paragons that have sided with Marduketh
Tybalt, Armadram is his. The fingers are slowly becoming Reginald and Regina's.
Can I ask you a question about Reginald and Regina?
Besides the other one you asked me the other day?
What do they really want? This is something we've talked about as a team for a while now, but what is their main goal?
Look at them. They live in a giant house, alone, in the middle of nowhere, with just enough staff to do what they want so that they don't have to do it themselves. But they stay out of their way. They play them music occasionally, but they give them food and then they leave. What do you think those two people want?
Privacy.
They want to look into each other's eyes and watch the world burn around them because it doesn't matter to them because the only thing they give a fuck about is themselves, which happen to be, for some fucked up reason, each other as well.
It's like incest, really.
It's like the worst form of narcissism, but it's kind of, at the same time, kind of cute and a little endearing. But it doesn't help that they're kind of two sides of the same coin in a different way, and they're both borderline sociopaths. But goddamn do they love one another.
There was a pair of magical items that were given to us a long time ago that when you put them on, it transplants you to another reality. A reality that you cannot escape from. Or...
Do you have them?
I do.
What are you thinking?
Do you think they would accept it, knowing full well that's what would happen?
They wouldn't have to help Mardukaf if they could just fuck off.
Let me see them.
I go into my bag of holding and I take out the 2 rings.
He takes them and looks them.
Don't put them on!
Why?
Because we don't know how... It's not just a magical item. It's an item that was gifted to us by a god.
A god.
It cannot be reversed by magical means.
It doesn't even feel magical. Are
Exactly.
you sure it's not? Are you sure you weren't just tricked? Like hoaxed by some magical traveler?
I mean, this is my magical item. I take out the boiling pot of mercury and I turn it into a sword. Do you see magical power coming from this?
I don't, so that's a good sign. Okay. So what are you suggesting?
Present it to them.
You tell them.
How reasonable do you think they would be?
Let's ask them. And then immediately, you're in a throne room.
Oh!
You gotta stop doing that!
A king and queen throne, but at same height and same mass. Different design. One's smoother with intricate details. One's rougher, tougher, but still has its own beauty. Both made of stone, and kind of infusion of ebony and ivory in each, with a kind of rose gold intricate design on the softer one. But that kind of more, what's that Japanese form of art where like a bowl breaks, they fill it with gold so that it looks prettier, and it's like, it's beautiful for its flaws.
Oh.
They kind of have that in the other one, the rougher. Both look beautiful in their own way, but for different reasons. Both full battle rattle, full plate mail.
Yep.
One white, the Regina. One full black, Reginald. Ha! The children have come to play, sweetheart. What do you think you have to offer us? Ah, you brought the fat one. Lost some weight, have you? Careful, darling. Can't be too rude. He is a guest. You all have rather short periods of time to explain yourself before we kill you.
We brought some rings and,
Before you begin,
Oh.
Reginald, Regina, I know things are weird. I know things suck. I know you've picked a side. I know you know that that's not me out there. And I know I'm in a weird spot. But we go way back. And I know these kids seem stupid and full of shit. But they know what the fuck they're talking about. And if they play their cards right, they'll be our replacement someday. So just do listen to what they have to say. And you give me perception checks. Or insight. I'll allow you to make the decision.
Will you let me use my,
Advantage, yes.
I feel like insight's probably the better take on this one.
Motherfucker! Yeah, this is probably an important thing. Let's add my, What does that say, Josh?
It's a 4.
It's a 4. It's 18
On.
perception.
And 19 on insight.
You get it. You see that things have gone better. You see things are lighter and things are safer. You see they're not on guard anymore.
Oh.
You see that
They like that idea then.
they know they have to put up a facade.
Mm.
They know that they're the rough and tough ones, for the love of God. Not only are they healers, they're some of the big damage dealers. But at the same time, they're the ones that everybody's most afraid of. And their guard is briefly down for a second, because not only do they believe what Nesmith said, they know he would only be here unless it was explicitly important for them. Because why the fuck would they risk this?
Right.
Take a deep breath as Mac. Showtime.
Speak. It's fine. My husband is threatened, but if what Nesmith says is true,
We know that you have you've chosen a side in the conflict that is brewing. You have chosen the side with Marduketh. Can I ask you one question? Do you side with Marduketh because you believe in him? Or do you side with Marduketh because you think he's the one that's going to win, and the one who wins that will leave you alone?
he looks to Nesmith and Nesmith nods. He isn't the side we believe is going to win. He is the side that is going to win. And you're right. Just like we didn't like being called to Privence, we certainly don't like a civil war. But if I get more territory out of it, grow an army, sorry kid, but Goliaths at my beck and call, that only improves my status later. And like I said, I'll be left alone.
What if I offered you...
He kind of reaches out a hand and kind of squeezes Regina's when he says left alone.
What if I offered you... We offered you a third option. And that third option... This is going to sound like bullshit because they don't have magical effects to them. But these items were given to us by a god.
Nesmith once again. Like I said, like the kid said, it sounds like a lot of bullshit. But I have evidence is true. They brought Penelope back, and they both kind of immediately do the, okay, what? You know, like...
I know you think...
Get on with it, kid.
These rings, ironically, wedding rings, I know. The universe is a crazy thing. These rings have no magical power to them.
Get on with it, kid.
If you put them on, you will be removed from Pangaea and sent to another universe. One that other people cannot enter and one that you cannot leave. This
So
universe is paradise. That is what was told to me.
Paradise?
Yes.
Whose paradise?
This was given to us by the god of mercantilism.
Well, history or wisdom. You do the same if you want. What he said is not entirely true.
26.
It's the paradise of whoever wears it.
Thank you. It's the paradise of whoever puts it on. This item was given to us by the god of mercantilism. His name is fun to say. Real Clever Thrush.
So hokey halfling magic will allow me to retire with my wife forever?
It's not hokey magic, I promise you. I take out the sort of bubbling ball of mercury. This has no magical properties to it, right? I turn it into a statue of Reginald and Regina, a small one within the constraints. You saw no magic come from me, and yet it acted upon my will.
What do you think, sweetheart? That's what we thought we were doing when we built this place. And yet people keep fucking bothering us. What say you, tall man? Does he speak a lick of truth? Should I believe him? From what I've understood, you're the true and just one.
It's kind of you to say, but yes, It's 100% true.
And you're not just saying that so that my armies don't put a heel to your people.
As I do worry about that outcome, it's not in my nature to even lie to my enemy about these things. We want the best for Pangier. And I wanted the best for every one of you guys, but...
At this point, my husband and I, we want to ascend, not just for power and glory, power which we think we are strong enough for and are rightly owed. Once again, they kind of squeeze each other's hand, but also this world is no longer fit for us, and us fit for it. We've outlived it. We've outgrown when we should have died. This world is not ours. This world is different. I know eventually people will learn our truth. And people will say things, like I said. We've always said it best, darling. We're not akin to this world. We're happy together, and that's when we're our happiest. It's not hard to defer this. So offering our greatest goal, you see why we are hesitant. When things are too good to be true, they often are. And we are effectively at war, you and I.
I know. And I'm gonna be a cheeky bastard by asking my next question. If you do accept these rings and put them on, could you do us one favor? Expel the Mardukov simulacrums from the fingers. I know that's direct attack against Mardukov, but I can guarantee you...
There are no Mardukov simulacrums in the fingers, only our armies. This was our charge, and we took it. Like we said, bend the knee, follow the leader.
Insight?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll join you.
16.
20, natural, not natural, unnatural 20.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Like he said, if you're on his side, he doesn't need to babysit you. If he fully believes you're on his side, because once again, he also understands their goals. He's not being a humanitarian about it. He's assuming, yeah, they'll join me because they know I'm going to win and they want to be left alone. And then they will be.
Is there any way you could have your armies serve under Korvac? If we were to give you these rings and you were to be able to have your, your chosen paradise, we just want one thing in return, and that's a chance against Mardukov. Is that possible?
Are you here for armies, or are you here for war to end?
I'm here for war to end. But I'm also here to ensure that war ends.
I don't believe an army attacking Mardukov is the wisest decision, but just to know that these lands are safe.
Clan! A door opens and a butler walks in. Yes, my lord. I need you to be a witness. I need you both to roll persuasion.
Oh no!
What'd you get?
I can reroll it though. I can roll I'm gonna blow an inspiration for this.
Okay.
12. I'm gonna use my last lucky charge on this. Natural 20!
It is a combined thing, though.
Yeah, you said persuasion?
That gives you a bonus to the total. But I still need... No. I just... What is the... it's combined total. I need to know the total.
It's gonna be 25.
25, okay. You get a bonus to that. But I was just like... that's why I needed the
I was
total.
just actually gonna use this added on so it can help him.
Well, let's hear what he says first. Because
Okay.
if he says 17, you might not feel that way.
I'm gonna say it's a 10.
You're going to say it's a 10? I'm going to need a little bit more from you than that, buddy.
It's a 10.
So,
26.
26 plus 10. Yes?
Yeah.
So 36.
Yeah. I don't know if I
Should have just used your fucking.
all of it.
You could have given him bardic inspiration before you came in.
I know.
Oh well. Like I said, I need you to be a witness. Put them in my hand.
Okay.
And as you put them in your hand, you know you're a big halfling, but this human is way larger than most humans are. He seems to be slightly taller than Korvac.
Oh fuck.
Put the rings in his hand, and I say one more thing before you go. What is your paradise, if you don't mind me asking?
He hands one to Regina, and they both nod. If we are to disappear, tell the armies to stand down. They are no longer our armies if we disappear. You can side with them if you wish, but this is the best we are willing to give you.
Thank you.
And if I were to tell you, it wouldn't be paradise. And they both put on the rings, and both disappear from this reality, never to be seen or heard from again. Congrats! You pacifist won Reginald and Regina.
I thought we waited too late for that, but that works.
And we're gonna take a break there. So so far you pacifist won 4 of the Paragons.
And you know what this means, right? We are now currently have more paragons on our side than Marduketh has on his.
But Marduketh has Marduketh on his
I
side.
I know. This is honestly my goal at this point. Is like, I don't need armies for Marduketh, but I need paragons to fight against Marduketh. The only people who know him best are all of the people. And now we have Graf, Nesmith, Reginald, and Regina are out of the picture. We just need Isilith. I Tybalt, maybe, if it's a possibility. When we
Well,
go to
dude, no,
Turks.
Tybalt is like happy as a fucking clam being in charge of Armored Ram.
Yeah.
Isilith is our last.
Add time, and then we'll be back. What were we gonna say?
Isilith is our last, but I think he'll have his trepidation as he's scared of Marduketh and he doesn't want to be the lone one to side against them.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. That's why I'm kind of hoping now that we've done what we've done.
Oh, and
But let me ask you this, gentlemen. Marduketh sees you.
Yeah.
For every move you make against him, he's gonna make a move against you. There comes a time. What matters more? Allies or putting an end to the fucking war?
putting an end to it.
So why are you collecting the whole set? It's not... We're not playing Final Fantasy VII. We're not playing fucking Mass Effect 3. You don't need to collect the whole set to get the good ending.
I mean,
I
we never planned on going to Armageddon.
Well, yeah, I know, but he was talking about maybe getting Tybalt on your side.
If
Oh,
it
no,
ever
that's
comes
what
up,
I
I
meant.
do
I don't
not think he is
it's
an
gonna
option.
happen.
I'll be honest
We
with
have
you.
no relation. We didn't think we were going to get Reginald Regina. That was an accident.
Well, we didn't get Reginald and Regina, but
Nobody got them.
the theory crap. Exactly, we made them a null fighter in this war.
Neutrality was better than them. So, if you were to fight them in their boss fight, they were based off of the second to the last boss in Dark Souls 2.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They reminded me of the paragons that we thought at Castle Narth. That's what my brain immediately.
Yeah, very similar to
Yeah.
that. But instead of one being a sorcerer and one being a paladin, they're both clerics, one life, one death. Their cool shtick was if one died, the other one instantly teleported to the and then cast the cleric version of True Resurrection, but it brings them back to full health, like better than ever. And like, hey, my spell slots are back. All right, let's do this.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like each time they both got one, and it's just like you got to make sure that they both die pretty quickly.
And just when you created those rings, did you?
The sole purpose of the rings were to be the one way to pacifist run Reginald and Regina. The sole purpose of those rings. If you were to use one of them, are you jerking off?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, dude, we pacifist ran it.
I'm the king of the fingers!
But no, yeah, the sole purpose of those rings were for you because they were phrased at the beginning of the campaign to be like, hey, if shit hits the fan, disappear forever, it beats death, right? But they were actually for the only way to get them to go out. So yeah, you caught on to that. That's the one thing that they wanted to do was not
It
be
was
here
just a
anymore.
cute side effect that Mardukap was the one we almost convinced to put the ring on.
But he still had to be bullshit.
Yeah. I still, in my mind, I'm like, if you just used one more, would that have been enough?
2. I've had to use 2.
There's still a way to pacifist on Mardukap, but...
Bullshit! What the fuck you mean?
I don't know. But you have a Mardukap to ask any fucking question you want at any fucking time.
Hey, Mardukap!
So why don't you ask him and not me?
Okay.
You got the last good Mardukap simulacrum. Why don't you ask him how to save the world, bub? Huh?
Yeah, maybe.
God, that was good.
What?
That whole moment. This has been a good session.
Yeah. The Paragons are evolving is the more important thing. In their own little way. We're like fucking one of the Lithuania that went to war in World War I, came back with some friends. Luxembourg. Luxembourg sent like a company of soldiers because they're tiny as shit. You want some out of that, Josh? Mystery?
It's like I walked in here, I'm like, ooh, music.
I think something besides Taco Bell and pizza. You know, some variants. You know, I know we've had
How about chicken tenders and fries from Miller's, not variation?
You know what I mean.
I know. We got really good Chinese food the other night. I'll be honest with you, next time, more than next time, you're here and I'll do a work, we should totally grab Chinese and watch a show.
Yeah, Secure Fusion. Like they fucking do that part that time. That was some of the best fucking chicken chefs we had ever had. It was like the perfect glaze, you know. Sometimes it's too runny, sometimes it's too thick. I'm like, no, this is a proper glaze, my friend.
No, you were also extremely hot.
Doesn't do the fact that
You want any more?
no, thank you. That food was fucking phenomenal. And it's good to see. You want more?
No, thank you.
It's good to see that despite, you know, labor shortages and, you know, shitty employees, that restaurants are still doing alright and getting it right.
I do want to start supporting more local restaurants again, because like,
Oh yeah, I'm done with that Taco Bell after that fucking last experience. And that, don't get me wrong, that Wendy's was alright, but it's just like, hey, yeah, you know, standard burger experience. You
wait
know?
17 hours to get it.
Yeah.
Do you ever complain about that Taco Bell experience?
I fucking was going to, and then it's just like, I just put in the request for the money, and it was just, I'm just not gonna go back anymore.
Same.
It was the next day, and it was just kind of like, I had the fucking home loan shit to worry about, and I fucking dealt with that call. And then the next day, it was just kind of like, now I'm complaining about something 2 days ago. And I've calmed fucking a lot down since then.
Yeah.
I'm just a very spiteful man. I want that woman fired.
So do I, but do you think it will only take our actions to do that?
It'll add up.
Did you complain?
No. I've been learning opera.
Apparently Opera makes for a good web browser as well.
What?
I said apparently Opera makes for a good web browser as well.
That's right, there is an opera web browser, isn't there?
It's all the same company.
You know what really bothers me? We don't run.
Fucking feel this is empty.
Holy.
This reminds me of like a bottle you'd find washed up on a fucking beach shore.
I got it because it was fucking pretty, but like,
Oh my god, this is empty.
yeah,
That's
like,
a lot of glass.
I was just like, it was like, this is why I was like, because I was like, hey, this doesn't feel like 750 milliliters. And then I was like, now I know why. The glass is this heavy.
We play a game when we go to Publix. While Alex is looking at wine, the game I play is let's look for the weirdest wine names and suggest that. Found El de Poggers.
Delta Poggers?
It's like it's like Del Rey Poggerino or something like that.
Oh my god.
Josh.
Yep.
Hey, Josh is a fucking kid. Okay?
I'm just waiting for a Preston.
What the fuck is a Josh? You like your Josh.
Oh god, he's starting to question his existence again. Quick, get up.
Another one.
It's like
Did I drink my water in there?
No. Oh yes, found it.
Kind of reminds me when I found out about the term "you're joshing me." I'm like, what does that mean? What did I do?
Family.
Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me.
Galileo.
Galileo. Galileo Figaro. Hi.
Yes. Congratulations.
Don't want any copyright struck.
It happened before.
You've been hit by a copyright strike.
Remember how there was that fucking anytime I played Grand Theft Auto, there was that North Korean one. But I kept getting hit by, like, on Facebook it happened for a long time where they were like, hey, this guy said you used his footage, and it was like some Brazilian Facebook streamer, and they're like, well, we're gonna side with him because he's got way more people that follow him than you. And it was just kind of like, you have to prove yourself to him. Like, if you want to file, a thing, you can. But remember, he's got way more people than you. So, like, if we find out you're wrong, we are. And it's just kind of like a huge bully shakedown from Facebook. And I was just kind of like, no. At no point did I use anything from him. So, like, go ahead.
Yeah,
Try
it seems
me.
pretty easy to prove.
Worst comes to worst, you get banned from Facebook.
And it kept happening, and then it just stopped because they were like, "Yeah, you're right. None of this is his." Because it would happen, like, we would play Fall Guys, and he was like, "He says you used your footage," and I'm like, "The only thing we did is just me and fucking Preston. I miss him."
You watch his streams and Preston's in them.
Every day I wake up and Preston's in my streams.
I need to call him and be like, hey, you want to meet up later?
Play some D&D.
New Mario Party. You're
God,
right,
yeah.
I'm in.
I missed. Who doesn't? Now. You're inside Reginald and Regina's quarters. Well, not their quarters. Their throne room. By the way, the throne room runs the length of the entire house. You should say the width of it more. It is a long, old-style, Gothic mansion. Giant estate. So it's basically like just a long room that if you could stand on the other side, be like, hello over there! Sort of. And it's just empty except for this throne room. Much like the giant banquet hall that you saw them in earlier when you scried. It was just them and some band. It's empty. Hollow. Like they didn't really want to be here.
I look at, what was his name? Glenn?
Mm-hmm.
Butler? I look at him. Hello.
What is going on?
Well,
go ahead.
Well, like they said, they vanished, but they went to their own paradise.
You killed them.
No.
And they've gone to heaven.
Well, no, but they've gone to their version of heaven, if that makes sense.
I rarely understand anything.
Okay.
I'm merely a butler, sir.
Right.
Am I free?
You're free.
I can leave and they won't hurt me? This isn't a trick.
Were you a slave or an employee?
I love my service.
All we ask is you do as being the witness.
Reginald and
you're
Regina
good.
are incestuous twins! See, you're good to go.
Is that true?
No.
Ah, it's worse than that.
I cannot know. I can't not know, my sir. No, please no.
No, let's not bother with the details.
They never had me.
Okay.
But by God, they were scary.
I understand.
A lot has happened and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
So they
If I
asked.
might be so frank, sir, I apologize for my language.
Yep. They asked you to be his witness. So after that,
Yes?
you're good.
So, go, the armies! I have to go.
Yeah.
And he turns and, hello, everybody! Ah! And then,
This is your chance.
For what?
Unify the fingers.
True, but these aren't Goliaths.
Yes, but they're the one opposition against the Goliaths. If you unify the Goliaths and these people under one banner, bada bing, bada boom, you have a new country.
That seems a little opportunistic.
God, you're so pure of heart. You dated Pascal for how long? He's the definition of optimistic.
Opportunistic.
Opportunistic. It's not manipulation. You give them the choice.
True.
Is that correct, Nesman? Would you agree with that?
Look, kid. Honor, tribe, strength, tried, all that shit you guys talk about. You single-handedly got rid of all of the resisting tribe's opposition in one move. Opportunistic, good deeds, bad deeds, karma, call it whatever the fuck you want. They owe you one, at the very least.
Besides, Korvac, if there's one person who can unify the fingers, it's gonna be you, buddy. And that's my last bardic inspiration.
Well, that lasts 15 minutes, so... And we're not... Well, we are in the
Oh.
fingers, but very... You know...
We don't know how long it's going to take for them to...
Yeah, well, you gotta do whatever the fuck you gotta do.
Right.
I mean, sendings are being sent, standout orders are being issued.
You want to come back in a little bit?
What do you mean?
We don't want to leave Nesbit hanging and waiting.
That is correct. But we can come back and try to unify a little bit
Here's
later.
what I suggest. My kids have been alive for about 8 minutes. I'd like to hold them again.
Exactly.
While I do that and do unspeakable things to my wife for which I've dreamed of a long time that I don't want the two of you to bear witness to,
Ah, fair point.
maybe then you can unify your friends.
Yeah.
But until then, I just burnt one of my big boys getting you here, so if you wouldn't mind...
Yeah. Let's get going.
Can we borrow your magnificent mansion with you in a different room? Because this is my last big boy spell as well.
What are you talking about? My magnificent mansion is all the way over there. I can't let you use it here. It's over there.
Oh, I meant when we teleport back.
Why do you need to use my
Because
magnificent
I
mansion?
don't have a magnificent mansion open at the moment.
You got your friend's fucking tent on my yard.
That is true.
I'm not gonna let you be in my house while I bone my wife.
He makes a lot of good sense, Mac.
Also, my kids are around and around. And
Yeah.
to be frank, I really want to distance them to this whole environment.
Makes sense.
So...
Let's get going.
Fulfill your end of the bargain, kid!
Before I do anything else, I just want to do a really quick perception check inside this hall. Is there anything that looks off?
Go ahead. Get your advantage.
12.
In your opinion? The drapes really don't go with the checkered pattern on the floor.
I look, I'm like, gosh, these people are just so... It's like the styles from 40 years ago. And I teleport with
they are 200 years...
the three of us back to where... Oh, sorry.
Thomas, the ogre!
Lads.
We appear exactly where we were inside of Nesmith's house when we teleported away. As to not scare them, of course.
You're still on the foyer. Well, let us go. And they walk down the stairs, across the yard. He walks through the flap of this rather regal and elegant tent. Kind of turns back to you, takes a breath, and you still don't... He believes you enough to do the transformation and do everything he's done, but you still know he's not 100%. So when he turns back around and walks into the open flap and sees not just his wife, but his son and his daughter, he doesn't say anything. It's also really fucking sad right now.
That's like half a bottle of Bond's gin. You want to share it with me?
So, let the man see his people, man.
He falls to his knees. Starts openly weeping while he holds his children. Looks to his wife. How is this possible? I'm sorry, I didn't believe them. I'm sorry I let you go. I'm so sorry. And Penelope doesn't say anything. She just starts holding him.
Because he starts eating him like the fucking JoJo stand.
Hell to you!
Just gets eaten by fucking simulacrums of his dead wife.
Basco clearly sided with Marduketh, you fools. You're not reading between the lines. I set this up. Before the stream, there was a brief period. No, that was Malin. But he did kind of have a brief conversation with Marduketh before he locked him in a mental prison. That was just like, maybe. That changed quickly.
Yeah.
Kind of immediately turns to you and just kind of nods. Please, if you could.
Where's Basco?
Walking outside.
I go with Basco.
Yep, same.
Just watches. I have a thing for this.
I got a weird fetish, and this is literally the only time I've been able to explore it. So if everybody could just give me a moment, I've done them a big favor, they owe me one. Can we not agree? So, the three of you all walk outside. I'm just kidding. That would never happen. The three of you walk outside. I think we did a good thing.
We did. What you would like to know, we've been pulling pieces off the chessboard while you've been doing this. Reginald and Regina will not be a problem anymore.
You killed them.
Nope. Remember the rings?
The rings. Ah.
They were pretty...
We thought about that, I think, at one point, didn't we?
You did.
Yeah. Good. I'm happy.
This also means something pretty significant. This now turns the tide against Marduketh and Paragon numbers, at least.
Bismuth is strong. Privence is strong. Wasalama is still neutral. The Western Isles have not been heard from.
Right.
We either strike now or help the Isles.
Right.
If you wish to grab Isilith, he might be an ally, but
But at the same
time is also of an essence at this point.
I think we need to start asking the Crunch Foundation for help, Basco.
The Crunch Foundation, I'm sure, is ready to aid you. They've been floating around helping. I'm sure you saw that with Graf and Lorraine. We're all working overtime. It's not a single effort. Don't worry. We're all winning the good fight. Well,
Can I give you a word of advice, a heads up, Basco?
yes.
The people we brought from the woods, they're deeply wounded at the moment.
Yes. And I need to get back to them.
Exactly. And at that stage, other than the fact that I love seeing you, but
And may I give you one? My advanced scouts have given me word that the Western Isles have fallen to Marduketh. They've been to me, and now Marduketh wills them.
what about Marymount?
We still haven't heard from them.
Do we have a say?
But we didn't hear from the Western Isles either, and then we heard this, so I can only fear the worst.
Should we send to, who was the leader of the Free Isles again? He had a very fun name.
Fraslin Frank?
Exactly, Fraslin Frank. Should we send to Fraslin?
Won't change anything. I think we're running out of time, Mac.
I know. I care. I like the Marymount people, though. They have the heart of a halfling. And the
You have... Trying to think. The session before, did you burn your sendings? I think you did. And we're still on that day. Yeah.
It's been a long day.
You can take your long rest and then try.
We can do that.
I mean, I think you guys need a long rest anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty tooted out.
But,
I'm sure he'll be going to his home soon, and you can use my tent. It's yours. On this estate, I'm sure you'll be safe. There are many barriers that took effect around the estate line. Now that he's given a shit.
Your Majesty, can I ask for one more favor?
Yes.
Do you still have your ring?
Yes.
Could you send to, oh my god, what was his name? The guy who runs our ship.
The guy whose voice sounds like Patrick Warburton?
Yes.
Pat?
Pat, thank you. Can you send to Pat, ask him to come and meet us? Outside of Nesmith's house?
it's a long ways. You wouldn't want to just go back to...
We'll have them have them move to Crunch's castle, because I think that's my next move. Do you agree?
So is Pat going to Crinch's castle, or is Crinch's castle coming here, or is Pat's ship coming here?
do you think?
We can get back to Thurwin like that. I imagine.
Asio looks to you, he's like, would you rather go to Theron? I'm going there myself now. I can take you.
I think that would be the best move, Korvac.
Sure.
It's
Is
all
Graf-
in the
is-
staff at this point.
Is Graf going to be staying with us a little longer?
Graf kind of exits, you know, because it was kind of like a close family friend thing. He was in the tent still.
He'll be fine. He's got more than the one simulacrum. And also the people. My people need me. He needs his family. Take me back. He'll be fine here for now.
Alright.
I don't know if you heard, by the way, Graf, but I just wanted you to know we took care of Reginald and Regina.
Killed him.
No.
We gave them what they wanted,
Happiness?
to the best of our ability.
Good.
They have not sided with us, but they will not be
They
against
never
us.
seemed happy. Unless they were with each other. Good.
Let's get back to Theron. I do have questions for you, though, Graf.
What are they? He says as he walks through a tree and is now in Theron with you.
I walked through the tree, as well.
Just go back.
No, I
Just left behind.
No, I didn't say I walked through the tree!
Isilith, how do you think he would side with us if he was to?
How did he seem when you last saw him?
He was,
Shaken.
and definitely wasn't talking.
Is he sober?
No. That's my concern, is I don't think he's getting over this anytime soon.
If I remember, you said the Sultan's guards. They sided with Mordekath, yes?
Right.
Wassalam is strong. Isilith is strong. Wassaloth and Isilith are not united. In his own brain, in his own heart, he's not united with himself. And Rassalama, well, their leader just saw that their armies was not loyal to him. I think to ask them to pick a side right now might hurt them further in the long run.
It might hurt them, and like she said, he was shaken. So I'm not necessarily sure we can trust him, and when the moment comes.
He's strong when the moment comes, don't get me wrong. He's one of the best of us. But he's also, well, he's also hurt by what we did.
Lorraine kind of puts a hand to his forearm and he kind of, I'm good.
We're gonna travel now to the Castle Crench, to speak with Crench himself and the rest of the Crench Foundation. Do you want to join us, Graf, or do you think you'd be better set here?
My people need me. I haven't done the rounds.
Right.
I put my fist up.
Roll in athletics.
On acrobatics. Oh, I'm gonna die. Maybe not that bad. 17.
Oh, okay. You took 1 point of damage. As he hits you just a little bit too hard on the fist, not knowing.
I am down. No.
I need death saving throws. Let's go.
I'm glad my death saving throws are pretty much polished off now.
Oh yeah, at this point I think everybody's good. Are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Give yourself 2 right now, just because I don't trust you.
Okay.
You get an
He's like,
inspiration.
try it, bitch, you still won't get me.
You get an inspiration though.
So, sorry, what were we talking about?
Well, Graf is going back to his people. This is a fist bump as goodbye, I imagine.
Yep.
And I look towards Basco, and I just walk over to him and give him a hug.
He hugs you too. It's like, Mac, never forget this one thing.
But what's that, Basco?
You owe me 50,000 gold pieces and ducats. And then he just boops you on the nose and walks away.
I read over to Cormac.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that hopes that Basco dies valiantly in battle.
I heard that! I have advantage on perception check!
Shit, that's right!
Graf gives you a head shake.
I like you, little boy. You're very smart.
I'm 38 years old.
Whatever. Cormac, may your strength never wane.
So he just walks off. I don't know what to say to that.
Yep, thanks. It won't.
Thanks, buddy. Lorraine, my people need me too. It's good to see that you're back. She's kind of been keeping watch. Nothing else has come. I don't think he's... I think he's smart enough to know not to attack you.
Do you want me to let Rainey know where you are?
I'm sure that'll come up naturally, friend.
Thank you for your help.
And thank you for yours.
And on that note, let's go to our ship.
Alright.
It's there, docked, ready for you to go, because it was, stopped on the battlefield outside originally, and they were smart enough to know to move over to that.
Ah, Pax!
Yeah, what's happening? You didn't forget my name anytime recently, have you?
No, it's not like I have a laundry list of people I have to remember. Good news! Nesmith, on our side. Reginald and Regina, out of the picture. We've had a busy fucking 16 hours.
Let me guess. You killed Reginald. You killed Regina. You did in front of Nesmith. He knew, after seeing the destruction you caused, that there was only one side to pick. Yours.
No, they got married.
No, that's...
Nesmith married Regina?
No, Reginald and Regina put on some rings that we had that were given to us by the god of mercantilism, Real Clever. I can never say his name!
Real clever thrush.
Real Clever Thrush. It's hard with a soft voice.
Oh yeah, I know, 100%. It is really tough.
Whew. Those rings basically sent you to a plane of existence that is your happiest dream, your paradise, as it were. But
That was
can't
actually
ever escape.
that was actually taken from the old the fable, the devil doors. What are they called? They were devil doors, right? What were they called? Demon doors.
In Fable as well.
Yeah, the demon doors from Fable. One of them was described as like a wizard's kind of paradise that he had devised, and it was like it was one of the hardest ones to get into. And the whole logic was, if everything went to shit, he would just come here and seal the demon door forever. And you're like, well, I don't age in here, so it's whatever. I can just sit here and sip on pina coladas. And that's kind of what gave me the idea for the rings. It's just kind of like whatever your idea of paradise is. If you put it on with your significant other, you both go there and live out the rest of your eternity in a locked dimension, which means it cannot be get out. However, that also means you're there forever. So it could be torrential torture for the rest of your eternity. But you get the sense that with those two.
Something tells me you probably would have liked the Myst series.
I love Myst.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to play the VR remaster they did.
Yeah, nice. They're doing that?
They have it already.
That's fucking amazing.
I love Myst. Myst was so fun. That was like one of my first fucking computer game experiences.
Exactly.
Well, Pat, our next move will be to the Crunch's castle. Do you have any news for us?
Well, I saw the burning and saw all that. I think I can safely say this Mordecai guy's not good.
Yep.
Whichever.
When are we killing him?
Soon. Very soon.
How goes the other nation states?
Seems like we're running out of time when it comes to the Islanders.
I don't think we're going to have our grand civil war like we had. I think we've caused enough disruption of what's going on to give us a chance to strike.
Well, on the islands, I know people there.
I know.
God, this is not his voice.
Yeah.
What islands? What are you talking about? Which ones? What's going on?
The Western Isles has fallen, but we have no word from Marymount.
So in short, our time is up and we need to strike as soon as possible.
Nobody's got any sendings.
Vasco did, but yeah, we're out of sendings.
Is there someone you needed to speak to?
What'd you hear about the Western Isles? Did you hear anything about them?
The Western Isles are the ones that fell, and we don't really know much more in detail.
And you couldn't reach? Well, no one's tried reaching, or they haven't heard from Marymount?
I haven't been able to reach, but I imagine if nobody's heard from them, then...
I have a first maid. Can check. I'll be back.
It's gone for a couple seconds. Minute, 2 minutes. Comes back.
No response.
Right.
But, not from one person. Nobody.
Right.
No response from no one at all. Do you think Mordecai will wipe out an entire population?
I'm not going to rule it as an impossibility, but he's also a divination wizard who probably is capable of topping all sendings.
I think we need to go there right now.
You know, Pat, for you, we'll do it.
Going to Crunch's castle would put us on a line towards the Western Isles, correct?
We'll bring you to the castle and then let's head there together.
That sounds good.
About an hour goes by. Well, fuck, not even, because you're going to Crinch's, who was kind of stationed over yours. You're there pretty much as soon as the conversation's over. You port yourself over to the castle via your rings. Kryn is at the helm of the teleporter.
Lads, how goes it?
Good
Good and bad.
bad. Yeah.
Go on.
So, Nesbit is a happy man again, and he has his family.
Let's gather Cringe.
Yeah.
Lads! Good to see you.
Crinch is in front of you.
What is the word?
Nesmith, on our side. Reginald and Regina, out of the picture forever. Not gonna be our problem ever again. Torvak's gonna try and unify the fingers under his banner.
But
Western Isles is fallen. We don't know about Marymount. We're gonna head there soon.
I think I can fill in some gaps.
cool.
Western Island has fallen in the same way the Grove Stand has. They've bent the knee for their own safety.
So they're not wiped.
Their armada is protecting the Rasku. They had no forces in the capital when Mordecai showed up. The army is still on the outskirts. If we take care of the simulacrums that are there, the army can retake it. And Marymount. Where is the sphere for Marymount? Is your captain still on his vessel?
Yes.
Invite him here.
He kind of sends an invitation through his ring, and you hear a teleporter sound.
I hear you're concerned about Marymount, so I figured, well, I'd let you all in to hear. Marymount has not fallen. Apparently, when they left, they took some artifacts with them. They've created a dome around the island that is an entire anti-magic field. They've lost a lot in this sacrifice, but they've opted out of the use of magic in the defense of their city. No sendings will go in or out of Marymount. However, neither will simulacrums.
That's genius.
Is it? How many magic items do you have on you? Every one of them sacrificed what they had on them. Fortunes were lost. They are people now, but their estates, their value, their GDP, a lot of their offensive and defensive capabilities are lost. However, they are shit. It will take them time to reconcile. This puts them back, but they are safe.
Just my immediate thought is...
It took a lot. They suffered a bad first round. They took out a few, but when they made it clear they would not bend the knee, well, just as you fought back reinforcements, so did they. Halfway through this first retaliatory assault, they activated the anti-magic field. Upon agreement, the High Council that it was the only way to guarantee their safety.
So we're all in agreement here. The best move that we can make is to save the both of them, and then hopefully convince them to unify together.
No. That, you know, the people aren't wiped out.
Marymount's gonna be Marymount. That's kind of the whole purpose. They're not wiped out. I'm happy to hear they're safe. We don't have to go there. This ship would not fly there.
Exactly.
And Crinch speaks up. Neither would mine.
Right.
But we can get pretty damn close.
We could also.
But why
just,
would we go there?
We could just end it, Mac.
No. What is your concern?
My concern is, well, mostly, as bad as it is to say, I just really like Marymount in the Western Isles, and I don't like that they're falling.
The Western Isles is the one that needs help now. Marymount is safe. They're hurting, but they're one of the few that we can absolutely say is safe. Simulacrums can't go in there. What will Mordecai do? He's not a fighter, he's a wizard. They made an ultimate sacrifice, but as far as I see it, they're the safest of all of us.
Can I insight on the armies of the Western Isles? If they did retake, would they be able to hold off?
I'll let you do that through a history check, because you...
I've seen them.
Yes.
I'll join you.
I got it. Oh no, it's a 13. Plus 0.
I got
13.
27.
13 and 27?
Yep.
You got the 13?
Yes.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure this isn't a waste of time.
What, going to...
Yeah. Because we can't stay there.
No, you can't. But you guys want to save everybody. So you gotta, you know. Outback Steakhouse is $0 delivery fee.
It's all coming together. So just to clarify what we're doing, after D&D tonight, we've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, we're going to order...
The only option you have for the Bloomin' Onion is, do you not want the bloom sauce? What the fuck? No, I just want the dry fried bits. Of course give me the fucking sauce. What is your fucking problem?
We're getting a bunch of bloomin' onions, and we're going to eat that while watching JoJo before Josh has to go to work. And then I will play Final Fantasy VII for 8 hours.
He fucking better. I have to watch it vicariously through him.
Or he gets the hose again.
Well, it's just, you know, I've played it so many fucking times at
Yeah.
this point. Like, I debated. I'm like, do I want to play it again? Because I'm watching him play it, and I'm like, it's not the same. Like, it's fun watching him play it again, because he's like, oh, no, this thing. And I'm like, yeah, dude. It sucks, doesn't it?
The magic of watching people play, like, my old childhood platformers.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know those games inside and out, but I love people who are like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Doesn't it ever baffle you how much you like remember all the little secrets about those old games too?
Yeah, like when you come up to stuff, like when he fucking was doing the, I gotta fool the guy. Once again, another one of those like, hey, this has no effect on anything. You all fight him together. It literally is just, I got cloud picked, woo!
Yeah.
You know, like, he only did like the 3 things they told him to get. But there was like 2 other things you also had to get to make him pick you. You had to get the sexy underwear and the perfume that I don't think you got, right?
Mm.
Those were the things. It was
Yeah.
like you got dress, shoes, and wig, and you were like, "That's
I didn't
it."
get enough. I didn't get a good enough wig.
Yeah, there was that. That's a squat tournament. You didn't. That
I
was that.
tied instead of getting the win.
Yeah, and then there was like one or two other things that the game doesn't say. Hey,
Yeah.
you had to get a pharmacy ticket, go to the pharmacy, get some medicine, go to the diner, go to the guy in the bathroom in the diner who was having stomach issues, give him the medicine that you got from the pharmacy, and then he would give you another thing that got you the perfume, right?
Yeah.
And that's like one of the things that like would bring you over the top and be like, yes, he will pick you. And what does that get you? Nothing. But gives you those sweet bragging rights.
Yeah, that stuff's pretty fun. I was just thinking about Final Fantasy IX, where it's just like, yeah, the main character's best weapon is just hidden on a pillar that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm gonna play Final Fantasy IX at some stage.
Final Fantasy VII to get the ultimate weapon for Cloud. When you get the flying vehicle, there is a flying weapon. It's the ultimate weapon that is just flying around. You have to hit it and fight it, I think, 3 times. And once you defeat it on the 3rd time, you will get the ultimate weapon for Cloud.
Just would like to say for anybody listening, Final Fantasy VII, I have named all of my characters fantastic things. Instead of Cloud Strife, it's Weather Strife, which I thought was hilarious. When you name Tifa, what do you think when you think Tifa? The answer is Gilgamesh. Congratulations. That's the exact same thought that I had. I named Aerith Sephiroth because I'm a psychopath. Also, now that I looked at it, I'm like, I can barely understand the plot of this story. Now I don't know which Sephiroth they're talking about. But then I thought about, what if I just named everybody Sephiroth? And then like, now I'll just never understand Final Fantasy VII story. I was going to name Barrett Hamilton, but I accidentally called him Hamilton, but that's perfect. And then for Red 13, I named it after everybody's favorite black and white cat, Jimmy. But I couldn't put Jimmy 13 as it is with the Roman numerals. I could either have called him Jimmy 12 with Roman numerals, or Jimmy 13 as if it was like a web URL name for like a chat room.
I got the bloomin' onion and I got myself a Sega. Just go pick whatever you want. We were at Farewell, you're at Crunch's house.
We're discussing the viability of going towards the Western Isles versus ending it.
So what do you want to do, Korvac?
Well, on one hand, if they bent the knee, when it comes down to it, who knows what he's capable of threatening us and...
They're hostages.
Exactly. Which just occurred to me. That's potentially what it is. So now that I think about it, it makes a lot more sense to free them. Did we ever figure out if they, via the history check, I'm asking you, Alex.
We never resolved that, did we?
No.
You got an 11?
13.
13, and you got a what on the history?
27.
And this was a history check for...
To see if the armies of the Western Isles are capable of holding off for a little bit at the very least.
Oh, yeah. You get the sense that the Tarrasque was viewed as such a very large threat that pretty much the full force, as agreed when you fought the Tarrasque, should be there on the front line. Because if they got past them anyways, what's the fucking point? You're fighting in the cities and you're defeating the one thing that you're trying to defend.
Right.
So you all agreed, let's pull. It was a very strong force. They have the capabilities, they have magical ballista, they have their own inherent defenses that we won't get into right now, but they have the strength, you think, the both of you, easily. It's just, it wasn't too long ago that this happened. So this armada is protecting this, state secret. Because they're like, hey, this is a very magical, powerful creature. We need to do as much research over as we have on it. Because, hey, let's not forget, this is our secret. So yeah, they have the strength. They just, currently they'd have to fight through Mordekaiser to get to their own defensive line.
Right.
Which is problematic.
Right. So the Western Isles could definitely hold their own. We just have to give them the chance to. Clearly been thinking about this the wrong way. Because we've been thinking about just grabbing powerful allies to take out Mordekaiser. But, if nothing else goes wrong, we'll get the Western Isles in order and take out Mardigeth.
I agree. I figure you order, and then when it gets here, we'll stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You concur?
I do.
That is, of course, you know, nothing else terrible happens, like cliffs falling or something of that sort.
The first retaliatory strike was sent out. I imagine it will be a second one soon. But I think that's guaranteed to happen whether we act or not. I think we do what we do, and then we immediately get ready for the strike at the throat.
I agree.
Yes?
I met Rainey's sister.
Lorraine,
Yes.
how is she?
She's doing well, all things considering. She's very stressed out. It's weird, the more time I spent with her, the more it reminds me of Rainey.
Pat goes out.
Hey, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go back to my boat.
Give him the thumbs up.
And he kind of bounces out.
Sorry, Jeff. Corvax just ordered Golden Corral.
It's not Golden Corral. Shut the fuck up. I'm not that low. It's out back. Pretty darn close. So,
You should speak with her.
Okay.
Rainey's happy here, but I don't think she knows what home is. Even though she's at home here, I think she's still missing something. If you know what I mean.
I understand. The other thing I've been thinking about, I need to talk to Tamlin soon. Because
Why?
I know how much he hates Mardaketh. And he would be a valid ally in fighting him directly.
And you'd leave your castle unguarded.
I would give Tamlin the choice.
Look, man, I don't know how much time I'm gonna have. I'm looking for something quick.
it's not gonna. It's only like it's anticipated to be a 35-minute like delivery.
Yeah.
It's not. If it's a price issue, trust me.
It's
you
not.
can order whatever you want.
It's not. It's a time issue.
All right.
Sorry, man.
Oh my
Don't
god!
look
You
at
ordered a chicken tender platter?
I added shrimp to it.
Uh,
I was like looking at, I'm like, I don't want a steak, but nothing else from Outback is really particularly that good. But chicken tenders,
I love that we were like, we're doing this for the bloomin' onion.
I know.
Yeah.
And I do love me some bloomin' onion.
Who doesn't?
We are not sponsored by Outback Steakhouse.
I don't think they want our sponsorship. We're like, I don't know, not much is good from it.
That's better reviews than what they normally get.
There we go. Placing order. The circle's almost completely gold, green.
The food has been canceled because you have been shit talking Outback.
We're watching the stream, Alexander. 9:25 estimated arrival.
What'd you order?
Just
A burger.
Yeah, I know.
A bloomin' onion burger, though. So
Yeah.
he gets the double dose of the good stuff.
Yeah.
God, you're gonna be like this at work. You check it in.
Oh. Thomas, fill me in because I
had said,
He's having conversations with Crunch, and it's basically kind of like the, hey, you've got some stuff you probably want to say to Rainey. I think everybody needs to take a long rest. It's slowly starting to kind of wind down. Everybody's cross-dropping information.
I was just bringing up with Crunch about Tamlin, about how he hates Mardaketh.
And how he then said, like, hey man, do you really want to leave your castle that unguarded?
Right.
And then you were done.
Yeah. Okay, that makes much more sense.
Also, where's your father in all of this? I heard.
He's not here?
No, in your final grand plan.
Oh. I was like, you said he was coming back here.
He kind of comes in with, like, a bunch of fruit and stuff. Oh! What's happening?
War things, Dad.
Cool!
So where do you fit in all of this, Dad?
Yeah, was gonna eat this banana real fast.
We're gonna go and do a quick 20-minute mission, and then we're gonna go kill Marduketh.
Alright.
That's what we always say.
So here's my question.
Yes.
We're going to kill Marduketh?
I assume as a fellowship, as it were.
Okay. Who's the fellowship?
Me, Korvac, the Crunch Foundation, Nesmith.
That's a big ask. Who's the Crunch Foundation and the Assault Force? Are you leaving everybody?
Well, that would be Crunch's decision, because it's his foundation.
Okay, so me, you, Korvac, Crunch,
Nesmith,
Graf.
maybe Tamlin.
Who is left to defend the household after that? Vaughn? You can have me or Tamlin, one or the other.
Oh God, this is a difficult decision. I'll answer it later. After I've had a long rest and some time to gather my thoughts.
Your mother's had a hard enough time, kid. Don't send us both up there.
Yep.
Tamlin's earned this.
Yep. Everything's kind of leaning Tamlin.
Tamlin knows which, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you know who burned his family.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like it wasn't a possibility until you're just like, me or, and it's just like, oh yeah.
Now, if I was to be killed by Marduketh, you will spend your entire rest of your life trying to free me, correct? And bring me back.
Oh, I'm gonna go to your friend Basco and beat the shit out of him until he resurrects you.
That is a good point. I owe him 50.
He's not gonna get the 50,000 until you come back, was he?
Well, that bastard will probably try to fucking con me out of 70.
Also, I'll wish that cock an inch shorter every day until he gives me you back.
That's like 2 days!
It's an average size elf penis, okay?
I don't even know how big that is, or small.
I don't think anybody does!
Look at Cormac.
Listen.
I don't want part. I don't want this. I don't want this. Cringe, kind of. Anybody want anything? Justice says, "Bar. I think we need to have one go to bed. I think we all need a rest."
Yes.
Yeah.
I just
Anybody want
realized
anything? He pours himself a nice port.
chicken tenders and fries.
He gestured to the bar. It's not a tenders and fries bar. One could only hope. Borvac Johnson?
I've had a very busy couple of days.
I'm eyeing that port. I'm curious.
Have you never had port?
No.
I know you got to work soon, but I have port if you'd like to try it.
Sorry, man. Gotta work.
I know. Have you ever had red wine?
Yes. Not the hugest fan.
Imagine he had it last night it was your first time trying port, right, Thomas?
Yeah.
It's just creamy red wine.
Oh, that's weird. That sounds weird.
Do you have anything else to add, Thomas, to that?
No, it's the problem is red wine is something that can taste like shit, or it can be like drinking fucking really good fruit juice.
So it's imagine just a thicker, heartier, creamier fruit smoothie.
That's weird.
There are good ports and there are bad ports. If you want the teeniest, tiniest taste, you can have it.
That's fine.
I know you'll say no.
Thank you.
Because you're a good boy.
Thank you, though. Maybe next week.
It won't happen.
You've been trying to get him to
He's imbibed. He's
I
imbibed.
drank his,
When I made that Hennessy and Hypnotic thing that we all enjoyed, that was fun. The magic potion. And we all had cognac.
Yeah.
And we had the mulled wine like a long time ago.
Yeah.
He had a little bit.
I need you all to do me a favor. Message Duncan D's Nuts on Twitch and ask him to come and play Mario Party with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you have your port. You have your... What were you going for?
I just was like, I want something fancy, but I don't know what I want.
Scotch. Cognac. Aged red wine. Gin. What's the... God, what are they called?
Tequila.
Not tequila. No, there's digestives. God, what are they called? They're like root-based liqueurs. I can't remember, but there's a lot of good stuff here. He pours you something. You hand it to him.
What is it?
Glass of nice scotch. Smoky. It's whiskey, but it's got a little bit of peat in it, which adds smokiness.
Do I take it all in one shot? Like I'm a...
God, no, we're all sipping this. This is our last one for the night.
I take a sip of it.
It's just smoky whiskey. Some people like it. Some people don't. It's a love it or hate it sort of affair, typically.
Oh, I also took some of Nesmith's drugs. He had like a bong that let you see all of your realities getting high at that time. Weird man.
An Etrium bomb?
Yes.
How did you acquire that much Etrium? Oh well. Irregardless. I'm glad he's feeling better.
Yeah.
I'm glad his head's in the right place now. Cormac, the fingers. After we take Marymount, when are you going to unite the fingers? He said that was your next move?
Yeah. I'm not.
Guys, you guys continue. I do have to go visit the bathroom.
Well, it was very sudden, so I wasn't planning on coming. The last time I did a speech wasn't great, so not sure how I'm supposed to work this one out.
Actions speak louder than words, and you've stopped a war that was killing them.
Right.
What more needs to be said, my friend?
Suppose it will probably come once I see who was involved.
And when your tribe, your herd, pack, pride, shows its true strength in a few days, right?
Yeah.
5 once. But we're about to take a long rest, so it's going to be 4 soon.
It's gonna be 4 days after this.
I think maybe a speech before then is wise.
That's my thought.
Especially when that army that was told to attack is now just...
Sitting there.
Exactly.
Kind of hoping that us not immediately trying to coerce them might give them a little time to breathe. Maybe realize that we're not just in it for the power.
You, absolutely. The tribes that have been fighting them thus far? Do you think those packs will just lie down and wait after suffering losses? Kin? Bloodlines?
Well,
Your people need guidance.
of course.
We all do. And it's time to get it from peers, not from people like us. Can we agree?
Makes sense.
What do you think, Mac?
Well spoke.
Well spoken, as always. Phenomenal.
Write that one down, everybody.
Who do you think you're gonna be taking into fight with Marduketh? No, you want to lay it easy, but
Me. If anyone else is coming. Savon, maybe. Just because of his Chrysalis's abilities might be able to counteract what Marduketh has in store.
right.
Other than that, the fewer the better in my opinion.
Have you ever been to the Spire? I imagine you have.
I have. No one has been in there. With the exception of Marduketh.
Oh, I understand the top, but
Yes, I visited there.
how do you suppose we're going to get to the top?
We have a flying ship.
So just there'll be a way in. I've never been.
The
I
door
know
in
where-
is on the exterior. It's a kind of a lattice, like a deck or patio.
They pride themselves on their trials. I'm surprised that there was an entrance up near the top.
I imagine there's things to stop it.
Hmm.
And also, it would take a set of brass balls to set yourself. To simply teleport to the outskirts of Martiket's store.
Right.
Do you think any plain Jane wizard would do such a thing? Or do you think they would admire to the trials? That's how proud he is.
Hmm. Okay. So, like I said, never been. Wasn't sure if
Makes sense. Not
have
your
to
thing.
exhaust us ourselves going through all that.
You might gain some allies on the way. But I understand if you didn't, you might make some enemies.
Exactly.
But I think if you go through and just be like, we're going up there, we're gonna kill them all, we're gonna go get Martiketh. The only people that will stop you are those very dedicated few on his side. And then you'd probably draw out those against him to fight on your aid. You might gain an ally. You'll definitely cause a disturbance. But you might get him. Or we can just drive up. Either way,
Right.
he will know we are coming.
Of course. But every minute spent not in his chambers is a minute he can potentially see through our plans.
He
What-
sees our plans. In here is the only place I think he can't see us, but even then, I can't be sure. Who knows? I don't.
I mean, you're a wizard of the same class as him,
I'm more. I bother.
of course. Do you think he's caught on with our ability to get inside?
I don't think so. But when we get there, we'll know, won't we?
Right.
But he wouldn't have any reason to believe we would.
Okay. So, let's get some rest. Cross our fingers, nothing else happens.
While you're doing that, do you want to say you're having your conversation with Rainy?
Yeah.
You go to Savor's quarters, which being part of the big main family is a little bigger than all the other ones, because that's where Rainy now lives. She lives with Savor. They share quarters. What can I do for you, Mac?
I hope I'm not intruding.
No, we'll just, lots going on. We're doing our own reflection. Savor.
Mac? How goes it?
It goes well. I'm sure you'll hear all the news soon. I'm actually here for a different reason.
I've heard a lot of the news, yes. What reason are you here for?
Well, it's for Rainy. I met Lorraine.
He kind of looks through. Oh, you have now, have you, darling?
Mm-hmm.
How is she?
She's doing well. Stressed as all hell.
Go ahead and roll insight.
Natural 20.
You get an instant sign of relief as soon as you mention that you're about to talk about her. As she's heard about the stress in the region. Thank you, darling. It means a lot for me. Give me this news.
She also wanted me to let you know she hopes you're doing well. She'd love to see you again.
She looks to Savor. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I wish I could say the same about how I felt about the work right now. I just started feeling good about myself again, and now this is happening.
She wasn't very happy on how we met. But she
You
was
boys have that effect on folk now, don't you?
I know. She was glad that we killed Tristan.
And I'm glad that fucker's dead too. Savora.
As do I.
I don't want to intrude too much into it, but she's good people.
I never thought she wasn't.
And I hate to feel that you two are not together, because you're two, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Different sides of the same spectrum.
It's a country saying I'm trying to think of. 2 peas in a pod.
Why? But you must not forget, our time lasts a little longer for each than others. What may be a year or 2 for me, it's just a few months for you, darling. We won't be gone forever, I know that. But just like she's found her own way, and I'm sure she's not keen to admit that, I did the same thing. So once again, looks to Savor. It always takes a little time, but we all find our way again.
I'll just look at Savor for a second. Just as a very off-the-cuff question. Who is your patron?
I think you and I both know the answer to that.
Cthulhu?
Yes.
You felt anything different recently?
I think you and I both know the answer to that.
Yes. Just wanted to check up on that. I hope you're doing well, Savor. I know I don't get to talk to you a lot.
He's not gonna come. He's felt almost neutered.
Christ, is he that powerful? Professor Privets?
Something's got me about this world. Luckily, eyeballing his spear, his chrysalis, I have a secondary source that's proving more than Ken.
Had you told me about...
I'm not here, man. You're
I
talking.
know, I know, but I'm asking you OOC. Did you ever tell us about what the blood chrysalis said to you, or was that just between the two of you?
I pretty much explained everything to you guys. I haven't left you in the dark about anything for the most part.
About him offering to become another race again if you offered him your flesh.
That I did not, because I haven't had
Thank you.
time.
I just wanted to make sure before I
Yeah.
overstepped the lore boundaries of what Mac would know. I'm just ever so curious about your chrysalis.
What about it?
What is it? Because if the blood chrysalis is made up of a blood wraith, what is yours?
Another long lost creature that was one of a kind, that had one choice: seal itself away or perish.
Do you know what that is?
An elder of some kind, as it describes itself to me. Roll.
I like to imagine Savor's
History?
doing this.
He's just like,
No, just roll wisdom. Roll wisdom.
I was gonna say, this is probably something I wouldn't even know history-wise. 21.
That sounds like the ilk of Saris. That sounds like the ilk of Cthulhu. That sounds like the ilk of... From what you've known, what you've seen from Zaris, what you've seen from Savor, what you've seen... Sounds like in the same ballpark. And it sounds like... There'd be a reason why Cthulhu wasn't hearing anything about our universe. Why he wanted an eye. Doesn't he have one everywhere else? Maybe there's a reason why something was missing here. Maybe he's got just as powerful thing, but just of a different brand. I.e., an Elder One, or a Great One, or an Eldritch, whatever you want to call it. But one of those was here, and from the seam of it, in lieu of extermination, as it was the last of its kind, and things were going to shit, and it didn't know of its own presence, it decided to take the form of the chrysalis, as did the blood wraith.
Very curious.
What about, friend?
I get the feeling.
Go on.
What was that?
Go on.
I don't know how to put this into words, but I need to know exactly what is inside that chrysalis.
I cannot describe it, but I have seen it. It would probably drive a normal man insane, but I've gotten used to it.
Isn't it weird that Cthulhu needed to create a new spawn in this universe?
Because its previous was locked away.
And why was that?
Because he's in my chrysalis back.
Why is he locked in your chrysalis?
Because years ago, his power was waning. Much like the blood wraiths were hunted for execution for their power, harnessed by the races there. Didn't take long for him to be turned on by his own people, by beings beyond its power. People searching the arcane, it was weaker than it should have been. It was fading to obscurity, hiding away. Who knows? But it's gathering itself again.
What do you think would happen in a scenario if the chrysalises found different owners? Say, for example, you received the blood chrysalis and Korvac received the mind chrysalis.
I don't think they would have picked them. Our beings picked us. It picked me. It knew I was the right tool. And it the right tool for me. They're not horrible, as I expected they would be. They've learned as we've learned. They've grown as we've grown. You know what boggles me?
What's that?
There was one. Then there was two. How many are there? 3, 4, 5.
They take the form of the mind and the form of the blood. What other human elements do they take the form of? If we were to make an assertion on that.
We could only guess. Well, throwback to a one-shot.
Yeah. Was it the one shot you and Preston did?
Were you on the balloon?
I know which one, but that was not involved with that.
Yes, it was. He mentioned several artifacts that were hidden throughout the world so they could never be gained by another power looking for them.
Yes.
One was the blood chrysalis, one was the soul chrysalis,
Right.
and one was the mind chrysalis.
So I knew it was probably going to be mind, body, and soul. I had forgotten that he named them. I knew he was involved with hiding those artifacts. I didn't remember if he named them.
He had mentioned that they were artifacts still being looked for.
Right.
They had already been locked away for some reason.
If you want to know what we did, the main bit of our actions revolved around the burial of those things we found in Castle Backstreet.
Okay.
The stake that gave him guidance.
We saw who that man was.
Yeah, the guy that they were working for the entire time was the guy who was stabbed by the blood, who then gave the guidance, and then he also was the one. Because the artifact you guys were guarding was the Orb of Disarmament.
And might I add, Preston made a very, one shot, one kill rogue character, and he rolled a 50-50, basically, to see if he shot me or a big-ass fucking giant. That was a fun combat.
It was.
Well,
You know me as a lore bard, I can talk about this all night, but I need to go to bed. I have done 3 world-shattering things in like the last 24 hours.
I think we all need a rest. Well, go ahead and put you guys down for a long rest as you guys go to your quarters. Sleep it off.
Before I go to bed, I don't do it very often. I give just a little prayer to Rail, thanking him for everything he's done for us.
Oh, after all that, yeah, good call. Good
Would
call.
do you have spell slots still, by the way?
Spell slots left?
Yeah.
I have
Would you be able to fill a level 5 spell ring?
nada. Sorry, Butterino.
Another time.
You can fill it with level 1 spells.
Do you want Featherfall 5 times?
Isn't it better than it being empty?
Yeah. Featherfall, yeah, it's a good one to have.
Do you want haste?
Yeah. You have haste?
This is why you gotta prod, Josh. You gotta prod. Because you
you
never know what the other person's thinking off the cuff.
I give you haste.
And Featherfall?
I already have Featherfall. I never casted it. I still had that fucking
Yeah, but you had one Featherfall, then you had a 4th level spell, which was Dimension Door. So now you have haste. So you have 1 spell slot left if you wanted another Featherfall.
I give you haste and I give you comprehend language.
No. Because he still has Featherfall, my dude. So he's got a 1 and a 3. So he's at a 4.
And one level.
It can only hold a 1 level spell slot. Comprehend language is a 2nd level.
Comprehend language is the 1st level. I
don't
swear it is. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, fuck. My bad.
I was like, please don't tell me I've been wrong about this for 2 years.
Perception is advantage. No, yeah, my bad. You have comprehend language, haste, and Featherfall now in that ring, my dude.
Cool.
You guys take your long rest. All in Cringe's castle. You awake. The world is your oyster. What do you do?
I wake up.
Try to put on a little makeup
I have my, sleeping hat on.
with your candlestick. Who's that?
And I go to Korvac in his room. Hello.
Oh, you can't pull off that look better than me.
He's also in like a fucking 2-piece pajama suit and a big.
Instead of
Mine is slightly fuzzier.
Instead of having a candle, the blood crystal, his tip is just throbbing with light.
Don't say throbbing.
Before we go today, shall we go and see Tamlin?
You want to see Tamlin
Why?
before we take care of the Western Isles?
We have a little bit of time, don't we? Or should we just get into that?
I think we should get into it.
Alright.
We don't want to waste. As it is, we're not running at full potential.
It's
We
not.
still have a level 9 ring that's not full. We don't want to waste anything.
What would you like in your 9th level spell ring, Korvac?
I think what worked last time.
You have time stop.
Hold on.
You sure want to take that over Wish?
Cringe joins you too for this. I trust you'll handle the Western Isles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you need anything replenished before you go?
Yes.
I will be sending to the castle. You're always quick to I will waste whatever spell slot it needs to be the hero of this. You got peoples. Time stop.
Time stop. And 6 spears? Or javelins?
Help yourself to the armory.
Or javelins.
You open the door and there's just a door of there's cringes and orcs,
Do you have any?
swords, long swords, spears, axes, whatever the fuck you want, you can have it.
Do you have anything super sexy for time stop for Korvac?
I think javelins are pretty good.
But think bigger. Grenades. You could have 5 grenades pinned and ready to explode at once.
Oh, we'll see. How long would I be able to... How much of an action would be 1 grenade? I think 1 grenade, that's an item use. As
Yes.
opposed to 3 javelins?
Yes.
Because that's ting!
Yes. Yes. So it's a bit of a gamble, you know?
Also, javelins are not, I don't have to worry about hurting anybody else. What are the odds of me
So
missing?
fucking honorable.
Yes.
So I think I'll go with javelins.
Yeah. How many are you grabbing? I'm gonna say you have an unlimited to grab from. How much are you grabbing? And I will say if that is a successful amount that you can carry on you.
I'm gonna go for 6.
You can do better.
You think? I mean, I could go for 9.
Your Korvac, your strength is what?
Strength is 25. 25.
You're a 25 strength barbarian who's level 18, and you think you can only hold 6 spears on you. How many of those orcs in the Lord of the Rings movie have like fucking 12 spears and a quiver in their back?
Okay.
And they're little bitch babies.
True.
You're motherfucking Korvac, the barbarian.
I can do a maximum of 5 turns.
So how much do you want to ask for?
12.
You can have them. 12 is not a hindrance to you.
I get out my immovable rod. I really like this, but for a small guy like me, what can I do with this? Because this is really good.
Pin an opponent. Lock him in place. Jam a door. Stop a dragon. Hold a statue.
Door knocking.
And on that, we'll end it.
We are prepared for trouble.
Dealing
So
with
you-
whatever happens in the Western
I
Isles.
imagine you're gonna make it double.
Oh yeah. Well, now that I, know what's going down.
Right.
Gonna send you all the vampire again.
It's just,
What's up, bud?
I need to look up, because I've never actually looked up javelin. I think it's a T10.
We can have spear. Like, it doesn't have to be javelin. Like,
No, I'm going javelin specifically because they're meant to be thrown. Spears are kind of universal. It's like, that's the reason why I never picked javelins in the first place, is because I like the universal point of spears.
Was it our food?
Yes. The Mormons were here.
All right, I'm wrapping it up. Anything else you want to say before we close it up, bud? Oh fuck, I hit it.